There's one. Oh boy. What do we got here? There's one. That one feels a little bit better. There's another one, back to back. That one doesn't feel too bad. Welcome back, everybody. So I'm super excited to be out fishing today because we are fishing with another urchin bait. It is the year of the urchin bait, but today we're fishing with something a little bit different. This is the Coike Micro. So I'm anticipating some bluegill, panfish, baby bass, that sort of thing. Very, very interesting. With iCast just being done, I'm sure we're going to see tons of sizes of urchin baits, and every brand under the sun's going to be popping out with theirs also. So we're going to go out fish with this and see how she goes. But also, we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. As soon as we hit 5,000 subscribers, I will be doing another giveaway over on Instagram. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, so we can go ahead and give some stuff away. If you haven't followed me over on Instagram, make sure to go ahead and do so, because that's where we do all of our giveaways. But let's go ahead and get into it. All right, I apologize if the video is awful as far as hazy. That is not the GoPro or anything else like that. We're just experiencing all the wildfires from Minnesota and Canada. Hope everybody's doing okay as far as that goes, but that's where we're getting all our smoke from. So as far as this baby micro Coike, they have the micro and I think like the mini or something like that. This is 5 millimeters, tiny little thing, weighs nothing. In all honesty, you could probably fly fish with this thing, but still made of TPE, so it's super tough and durable, so that should be good. Because this does weigh absolutely nothing, we're gonna have to throw it on some type of weight, or like I have to imagine you're gonna throw on like a Texas rig, Carolina rig. I think Eurotackle has like a switch rig, which is kind of almost like a Jika rig kind of sort of deal. We're gonna throw it on a drop shot because there's no way you could cast this thing any more than a couple feet otherwise. But yeah, should be interesting. Basically, it looks like a little spider, so I don't see why this wouldn't work, especially for your panfish and all that good stuff. We'll go ahead and try and I'll take this to the tank and kind of show what it looks like as far as all that goes, action in the water and whatnot, because we won't be able to take anything here. You won't be able to see it. It's so small. But I will go ahead and try and find an affiliate link for this also, in case anybody wants to go ahead and pick them up. They're not super expensive, cheaper than your normal Coikes, and it comes in a 3-pack, but again, it's tiny compared to a normal Coike. So let's go ahead and get after it. All right, this is what we've got on there. Just a drop shot. We've got a number 8 EWG. Seems to fit that thing pretty darn perfectly. Should be perfect for your panfish and small bass. Tiny little drop shot weight. I don't know how else you would really cast this thing all that well. If you used a light Texas rig, Carolina rig, or something like that, I think it'd still be a little difficult to cast, because you do have a fair amount of wind resistance from that Coike. So let's go ahead and chuck her out there, see if we can't get into a couple fish. I think that's a 32nd ounce drop shot, and it actually cast pretty decent. That was probably, I don't know, 50 feet, 45 feet, something like that. But let's go ahead and see if we can't catch a couple. I anticipate we'll probably end up with a fair number of small fish, but I think this is going to be an absolute phenomenal bait for if you want to fish your Coikes and stuff like that, and especially if you've got ponds that just don't have that big of fish, or you know, you want to mess around with bluegill and all the panfish. This is probably going to be phenomenal. And obviously it's a TPE, so you don't ever have to worry about it getting destroyed. But see if we can't catch a few fish on it first. There's one. Little bass. Yep, little bass. Super aggressive. Now we got tiny little hooks on this guy, so we do have to be careful. That's not a bad fish for a micro bait. Skin hooked. Little guy. We don't have a ton of time, unfortunately. This water's super, super clear, which is probably going to bode well for this bait, but we don't have a ton of time because it does feel like storms are not too terribly far away. So we might end up having to come out another day, but see how many we can catch here before we're forced to leave. There's one. Oh boy. What do we got here? You bet. That's more like it. Look at that tank bluegill. That's what I thought we were going to come out and catch. That is a 9.5. You bet. All right. That is more like it. we'll have to see how long we can fish still. Might have found a place with some probably the desired species for this bait. There's one. Get him. What do we got? What do we got? Another tank gill. That thunder is rolling. Oh no, it's a bass. For a second I thought it was a good gill. Oop, don't shake too hard. You will right in the top. Another little guy. Bluegill and bass in the same area. Yeah, this is going to be an absolute phenomenal bait for any sort of little pond. Trout. I didn't mention trout, but I bet trout would be a phenomenal way. And again, you probably could fly fish with this thing. It's so light if you wanted to. But I bet this would be phenomenal ice fishing for us northern states. Something a little bit different. Differently weighted too. But storm is rolling in pretty darn quick, so we might only get a couple more minutes. Let's see if we can't catch one or two more. We might go to a different lake the next day, because this storm will certainly end our day today. Get one. Get one. What do we got? What is this thing? Is it a bass? It is a bass. That's not what I thought we were gonna catch. On a bobber. There we go. The other day we had ended up fishing for a little while before the storm came out, and yeah, caught a fair number, well, I guess a couple on a drop shot. So I figured today we're just gonna go ahead and see what we can go ahead and catch them on, like different ways. And it's really windy out, so trying to throw them on anything light is actually kind of difficult. So we're using the bobber's weight to help us get out there a little bit further. First fish, not too shabby, especially on an ultralight. Let's see if we can't catch many more. There's one. What do we, that's not bad. I mean, it feels big on an ultralight, but how big is she? And what is it? Bass? I most certainly assume bass. Is it? Yeah, it's a bass. I was gonna say, if that was a bluegill or a crappie, that would be quite large. We're gonna see if we can't find a spot that's a little bit less out of the wind. Maybe we'll catch another fish here or two here, but little one. It's probably what you're expecting on a micro Coike. I'm sure you probably could catch much larger fish, but similar to when we were talking about the Uni HD and the regular one, there's just so many other fish that are gonna eat that thing at the same time. So I think if you're trying to specifically catch big fish, on forward-facing sonar is probably your best bet. Besides that, if you're just out there for whatever, great bait. But let's see if we can't catch, again, a lot more. Get one. We had caught them on a bobber. We caught them on drop shot. So now I've just got a jig head. Not a very heavy one. There we are. Another little bass. Where are the bluegill? I'm shocked that more bluegill won't eat this thing. Oop. Open up, buddy. There we go. Right in the top of the mouth. Just on a tiny little ball head. Kind of fishing it like a minnow, like you would forward-facing sonar, or even like a swim jig. Just kind of popping along, reeling. And that one smoked it. As much as a 10-inch bass really can, but see if we can't catch a couple more like this. See if there's another way to fish it. You're really limited because you have to add some type of weight to it, which you do for, you know, all Coikes, Urchin baits and stuff like that, short of like the Meba. But yeah, just something so light, and especially with the wind, it's kind of difficult, short of throwing on like a bobber or something like that, to really get it away from shore. But see if we can't catch another few, and see if we can't figure out another way to rig it. Got one. Is this gonna be a bass too? This is where we caught the bluegill the last time. I think that's a bass. Yes, it is. Oh, we'll get hung up there. Oh, he absolutely choked it. All the way down there. Little fish like Coike's too. Let him go. See if we can't catch one or two, and then we'll have to switch up to something else. I don't know if you, I mean, I'm sure you could probably throw it on a Texas rig or a free rig or something like that, but I don't know the best way. So I have to imagine a lot of people are probably going to use something like this size for like bluegill, which tends to lead to bobber fishing, but something to play around with. I think it'd be phenomenal for ice fishing season. We'll probably try it out for sure. There's one. Little yay. Oh, for a second I thought it was a big gill. And he smoked it too. Constantly reeling. Fishing it like a swim jig. Or a minnow, I guess. You have to get the pliers out for him. It's not hooked deep. Yeah, we'll get the pliers out. Alright, there we go. Little guy. They're aggressive on it, so again, like I've said so many times, and I'll probably keep saying, and we'll talk about it at the end of the video, if you've got a pond with just smaller fish, or you're just willing to catch anything, be it bluegill, bass, crappie, perch, whatever, not a bad option. And they last forever. Although I did have a mishap happen with one of them, so we'll talk about that at the end too. Got one. I've given up on any of these being bluegill. Little bass, I'm sure. Yep. Digging, digging. Oh, we barely got him. Right in the corner. Little guys. Oh. Micro fishing is most certainly fun, especially when fishing gets tough in summer and you can't catch anything else. At least everything on an ultralight rod feels big, or at least decent, and you do have the option or opportunity to catch something big. I've caught some 4-pounders on this rod, and it's a wild time. But there's one. Little guy. Is that a bluegill? No. There's no purpose. Oh my gosh. Ow. He absolutely choked that thing too. It's almost in the exact same spot. And the wind's picking up again. Might have to end up putting a bobber back on. Drifted around. Where's our hook? There we are. Little guy. All right. They're still biting in the middle of the day, no less. Only out here today, this early, because we're supposed to get some terrible, terrible smoke again. There's one. That one feels a little bit better. Come on, buddy. What are you? Stand down. You better bat? Oh! No, we popped off. That was something certainly bigger. I don't know what it was. I'm hoping that wasn't one of the big crappie that were in here. Man. Stayed down the whole time. Definitely felt heavier than anything we've caught so far. How unfortunate. There's another one, back to back. That one doesn't feel too bad. It feels different though. A lot more head shake. Yeah, I don't know. That last one didn't fight the same as these little blue, these little bass. Man, little guy. Oh. There's one. Back to back. Might be the same fish. Not a bad bass. There we go. There's a decent one for a ultralight. Probably just shy of a pound maybe. All right, we're getting bigger. Still wish I would have known what that fish was a couple ago. We have caught crappie in here that weighed over 1.5 pounds on a full-size jerkbait, which was crazy. It was a Vision 110 and smoked it and thought it was a decent bass, and no, it was a massive crappie. But they don't seem to want to bite much today. These bass do though. We are fishing a little fast, just because I didn't have a real light jig head with me. So this is actually a 1/16 ounce, which is actually kind of probably heavy for this bait. I would say a 32nd is much better for it. And maybe even a 64th. I bet a 64th would be really close to a jerkbait where it'd probably just stall in the water column and be phenomenal if that's the way you're trying to fish it. We'll take all this stuff back to the tank and see how many different kind of ways we can rig it and show. But let's catch some more. There's one. Oh, we pulled them off. These fish that we're pulling off, I do wonder if they are crappie. There's one. Is he big? No, he's just fighting funny too. What are you doing? What is up with this one? You get stuck on something? How'd you get stuck? Oh, there we go. Okay. That was weird. Hey. Maybe those ones that we'd missed were possibly a little bass. All right. One more and we'll have to try and switch them to a different sort of rig. There's one. Little guy. Oh, tiny. Oh, we got him funny in the tongue. That's not good. Where's our pliers? All right, let him go. There's one. Hey, little guy. We switched on over from the 1/8 ounce jig head to a 64th just to see what it looked like. It falls much slower. You are very much at the mercy of the wind though. And over here it's not too bad, but you get on any other part of the pond and it is like whatever the wind's doing is what your bait's going to do. So if you're going to throw a 64th ounce or something like that, probably just want to have a bobber on, because otherwise it's pretty difficult to manage. You can fish with the wind. That probably would help a little bit, but see if we can't catch one or two more like this. And this is essentially kind of like how a lot of Coikes and stuff are fished, is just a slow drop. You can basically fish it kind of like a jerk bait. It doesn't fall very fast at all. I think a 32nd ounce would probably be a little bit better because you can fish it a little bit faster. You don't have to worry about the wind quite as much. And I think that 16th is just a little bit too much, even though it worked well, just a little bit too much. Yeah, this thing falls a foot maybe every 2 to 3 seconds. Crazy slow. There's one. Oh, popped it. Oh, he's got it. Got him the second time. Oh, come on now. That is what we were after. That's probably why we missed him the first time. Nice, chunky looking gill. That guy is fat. He's not that long. He might be only like an 8, but holy cow. Let's see if I can get a profile of... He is fat. There we go. That's probably why we missed the first bite. Perfect. There we go. Makes sense going to something just a little bit lighter, moving a little bit slower. Little bluegill will pick it up a little bit easier, but it's a good start. That's more of what I was hoping for. We could have taken this thing out to go trout fishing too and done pretty well, I'm sure, but see if we can't catch a couple more bluegill. I'm more excited about those than the baby bass. Well, we had no more bluegill bites, so we're going to be done with today. We caught them a number of different ways, but let's go home, go back to the tank, kind of show this thing off a little bit and talk about it. All right, we made it back home after fishing with the Coike Micro. In all honesty, both days that we fished it, we did relatively well, especially for the time we had allotted for it. We caught a lot of little bass. Not as many bluegills I thought, but the bluegills we did catch were pretty decent, so nothing to complain about there. I think that had more to do with how we were fishing it as to why we weren't getting more bluegill bites, but it is what it is. So the urchin bait craze is all in full force right now, especially with ICAST getting done. We're going to have many more urchin baits that come out, all different shapes, sizes, and everything else like that. The micro is no different, and it did come from the originator from Hide Up. I think this is pandering to your people who do micro fishing, your BFS people, and I think it's phenomenal for that. You can fish it so many different ways, it's ridiculous, and it does well on all of them. I know we had caught them basically behind an unweighted bobber, just kind of free floating in the water column, caught them on that. We caught them on a weighted bobber with a jig head at the bottom. We caught them on a jig head that was just kind of fished, kind of like a swim bait for the most part, just kind of bopping along. And then we caught them on a lighter jig head that was pretty close to how you'd fish a normal Coike, or a lot of people would, kind of like a jerk bait sort of deal, slow sink, and that did really well too. Caught them on everything. Drop shot too. I forgot drop shot was what we had used first. So it worked well for everything. I think you could most certainly put it on like a Carolina rig too if you wanted to do some micro fishing like that. All sorts of different opportunities. But yeah, let's talk about the pros and cons. So pros, I think it's going to be phenomenal for anything, any small waters, any small ponds, anything else like that. If you're fishing for bluegill, big bluegill, I think it'll be phenomenal for that. Throw it on a jig head. Crazy good. Crappie also, especially with all the different types of colors that it has. I would really be interested in trying this for ice fishing. I'm sure I probably will. But great as far as that goes. You're going to catch a variety of species, which is going to be another pro for it. Regardless whatever pond you're in, there's going to be something that's going to eat this, whether it be some sort of panfish, trout, small bass, something that's right. Like, you have so much opportunity for whatever comes along. So that's great for anybody who's doing that, BFS or microfishing, or kids that want to get it into artificial baits. It's gonna be phenomenal for that. Yeah, super durable too, just because they are made of that elastomer. So again, that's gonna be beneficial to you. It's not quite as expensive as the Coikes, like the full casts. I think you get 3 of them for $13, I believe. So not as terrible, and they're going to last a long time. We only used 2, and we'll talk about why we had to use 2 in a second. But yeah, phenomenal as far as durability and everything else goes. But let's go ahead and get to the negatives, because not everything's positive. So first off, they are insanely light, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. but you're going to have to add some sort of weight to this because you're not casting this very well at all. Even when I was using, I think I used a 32nd ounce jig head, just the amount of air resistance from that Coike going, I couldn't cast it very well past like 15, maybe 20 feet. Beyond that, you had to hope for wind to help carry it. So you're gonna have to put some sort of weight to it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Bobbers are gonna be friends. A lot of times you can still fish them a number of different ways with bobbers, but yeah, that's, I would say one negative is that it's not very easy to cast. And even other small lures like this, they're a little bit more streamlined. So if you do put it on a 32nd ounce or even a 64th ounce, you're going to be able to cast it much, much better because it doesn't have nearly the resistance in the air like this thing does. Second of all, with this thing being a TPE, our first bait that we had, we left it in the vehicle one time, one day, and it was hot, but this thing got so messed up. It got sticky. Its appendages will not come back apart. So you do have to take a little bit more care of them as far as that goes. So I would most certainly save the packaging again. You could probably put these, honestly, on a, like however you're storing your other Coikes, you could probably put them on above, below, whatever, and save, you know, a little bit extra space. But this is what happened as soon as we left it in the vehicle one day. So not ideal as far as that goes. This one's probably toast. But oh, I didn't talk about the one positive also is that it is so realistic and lifelike that when I was taking a thumbnail also, AI thought it was a legitimate bug, which was kind of impressive. I was a little shocked about that, but it was kind of impressive. So I guess that's another pro as far as that goes. But a very, very interesting bait. Again, the Urchin baits of all shapes, colors, size, makers, whatever, they all catch fish really, really well. So it's just, if it's something that you're kind of interested in and what brand you like the most. I think there are some other micro ones or mini ones that are coming out from other brands also. But this one, I think is phenomenal. You'll do really, really well with it. But yeah. If you have any questions or anything else like that about the gear that I use, by all means, drop them in the comment section below, and I can try and figure out most of the packaging I kept. So I should be able to answer most of that. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Until the next one.